Even though I don't carry a title, I am supposed to be just a member of the group at the moment. I've never been able to relinquish the role. Persons still seek my input. I'm still very much involved in what happens with the group. There are other members of leadership in place, but we work to try to ensure that we are always trying to put the best product out there. Um, I am very proud to say that even after taking a little bit of a break away from daily operations of Roots Junkanoo Group to do some personal things, things got a little hectic in my life. I was still able to take steps back to contribute to particular areas that are of special interest to me. The ladies are the greatest interest always. I am inspired, have been inspired by great women like Carolyn Vogt Evans, who always believe that females should not only participate, but always make sure that we have major input and that we can put what we have learned, our skill sets, our special talents for beautification and decoration and design to use to impact the product that our group puts to the road. So I've worked not only to ensure that I'm a part of what happens, but to make sure that the number of females who are participating at that level continues to grow in Roots. Every year it gets larger and larger. Like Fern said, a significant part of our front line now, a number of our known performers are females. I love the thought process that persons are able to look at Junkanoo as a whole, the world of Junkanoo, and be able to recognize female names that belong to Roots Junkanoo Group. Persons who are outstanding, who are making an impression, who are leaving legacies. And I'm proud to see that we have worked to maintain a certain level of respect for what the input that we give. It's welcome by the males in such a male-dominated environment. And so I'm just working to try to keep that growing and to ensure that the female participation in Roots and in Junkanoo continues to grow. Speaking to a few of the persons, even on the JCMB level, recognizing that females put so much emphasis into administration and into participation. And we're committed wholeheartedly to the extent, you know, that we'll sacrifice so many things to try to get things done. Seeing that even at that level, the involvement of women is encouraged. Just even if you were to look at, say, the populace or proponents of female to males in the judging pool on a particular morning, you would see that it's a large proponent of women nowadays. So we're here as females in this environment, in this wonderful cultural expression, looking to see how it can be preserved, how it can be conserved, how it can be developed, how we can make sure that women have a footprint in it so that we can do our part.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Teddy. We have apologies from Kenny. She's probably logging in a few minutes, and also Angelique will log in a few minutes. They have a little bit of technical difficulties, but they will be as shortly. Now let's get to this juicy stuff. Fern. Now listen.
Like juice, man.
Hold on now. Listen. I tell you I was going to allow everybody to talk, and then I want to get down to this juicy stuff. Now here's my thing. Now I was disappointed in Genesis not showing up for the New Year's Day parade. You know, I was out under doctor's orders. I just had surgery, so I was told not to come on Bay Street. So listen, let me tell you now. I watched all the Junkanoo. Boxing Day, man, I was excited. I said Genesis was off the chain, the music was rocking, everything. And let me tell you something. I watched the reruns on those videos, and everybody backline was stumping. I mean, everybody in coordination, the shoulder pieces all together. They even right down to the shoes. Everybody looked so good, man. Then when I look out here and I waiting to see Genesis, come on now.
Well, you know.
New Year's.
Well, you know,
no
man. Now how it go.
Chame, don't have it van. You know that van only
Listen to me. We was through the corner. The group was ready. We was ready to go. I'm talking about ready to explode back onto the scene. But life does lifey things. And because we weren't 100% prepared, our lead costumes wasn't in place, we got the news that we got disqualified. So naturally, being babies in the Junkanoo world, we thought, okay, if we disqualify, then that's it. So because there wasn't proper communication, that was our biggest challenge. And of course, being new to this and not being able to execute our timing and getting in position and getting our lead to be, that was one of our issues. The group was ready. Brass, choreograph, front line was ready, Dana was ready, but our lead had.
I hear about all that, but that in my book, that shouldn't stop you all from Russian, man.
I know.
Hold on, that's what I'm saying, right? Plenty other groups, they had no thing up and they rush for their fans and plus for their sponsors. I don't think y'all was thinking. And whoever made that call, my understanding is y'all throw the chairman out and squash him out. And everybody has to do, you know, I know the day.
Listen, you know.
There you go. And my thing is all that makeup, all that hair, all that time, all that months spaced in.
Man, I spent well over $100 for makeup that morning because it was makeup. Well, you know, that was one bad decision that we as a general body made on this, as a steering body made. The previous chairman was really against it. Like, you know, we don't care. Blood, sweat, tears, we going. But
that's what Junkanoo is all about.
Yes. And I agree.
That's what the ancestors rushed under pressure. They rush, they chain, they rush with all kind of things happening, but they still rush.
Yes, they still.
I
can tell you this.
Wrong.
I can tell you this. We went out there and it was a bad decision through panic and, you know, the chaos and the don't knows, and I guess that comes along with maturity as well in being a junk organization. And you don't cross nothing, and when you get to these circumstances, things happen. That's why I say life does lifey things. Right. So we learned from our lesson, and let me tell you, these 5 years I've been rushing. From I graduated university in 2002, and I have never missed a Junkanoo parade, no matter where we rush. If it was in Washington, D.C., I was there. I have never missed a parade. Off season, on season, Boxing Day, New Year's, never missed a parade. And that took a lot from a lot of us.
If I wasn't even on Bay Street and my heart was on the ground.
Yes. And you know what, Charmaine? Let me tell you. We go on Bay Street and we are rivals on Bay Street, Boxing Day and New Year's. But I must give my shout outs. I must give great love to this Junkanoo world we call family. If you only know the love we got, the calls and the concerns, and listen, genuine, you know, man, y'all get back in it. Don't worry about it. Press on. The encouragement from the large Junkanoo groups, from the Valleys, from the Saxons groups. Listen, everybody touched us and say, listen, y'all keep going. And I must admit that did something to me. That's the first time I really saw a togetherness. You would think that, of course, it would be snickle and all of that and bad backing and bashing. No, we really, as an organization, receive outpouring of love and genuine concern to say, hey, what's going on? Listen, my phone still ringing. Like, Fern, what happened? And if anybody know Fern could be on Bay, come hook or by crook. She got me there. But you know, we live and we learn.
I mean, as a Junkanoo by passion, by blood, I know the pain of missing a parade, Fern.
Listen.
It is unbelievable. And if you could go without, you will drag one leg. So I can feel the pain. It's not a decision that actually they are the only ones who have made before. So they weren't the first ones to make the decision.
Nope.
We feel their pain, you know, at the time they make the decision, but I know they won't make it again. They will get there.
Listen, they're sour grapes, man. They're sour grapes.
Hello. Rush by yourself.
Hello. Listen, we welcome in Miss Kennedy Cameron. Kenny. Listen, turn the camera on. We can't see you.
Can't see you. Sorry.
Socks instead of Google.
We have to see you, darling.
Google. Turn the camera on, woman.
I'm driving, Charmaine. I just coming home from class. I had to teach.
Okay, so we can just listen to her voice then, because you know we ain't got to see her face.
But even going with that, Fern, what you were saying about the whole missing the parade with Charmaine.
Right.
I was on doctor's orders one New Year's morning from Colors, not to be on Bay Street. I threw on my Colors shirt, I threw on my sweatpants, and I snuck on Bay to walk with the group. The next day I was in complete pain, and my mother just laughed at me. My friend, everyone laughed at me, but I couldn't miss it. I understand that. You can't miss it.
Listen, Teddy, Charmaine, let me tell you something. My first child come the 1st of November. December, I rush both mornings, boo. Trust and believe.
But let me tell you, let me give you an exact. Kenny, the question was, what were you doing in the 5 years from since remix of Women in Junkanoo? Tell us a little bit what you have been doing in the last 5 years.
Yes, Kendra.
Charmaine, it has been a lot, because I feel as if the last 5 years, it's been a lot of up and down. It's a lot of making sure the money's right. There's a lot of rowing out far and down when they come to Bay Street and they feel like they can say anything.
We still can say anything.
So tell us, what have you been doing in those 5 years, yourself personally?
So, to be quite honest with you, it's been a lot of groundwork. It's been a lot of planning, about a lot of implementing policies and procedures, and not everything goes to plan, but I'm finding that it's still a very man-dominated or male-dominated industry, even though we don't see it that way because we're on the ground. I still see us being behind the scenes a lot. I don't get on Bay Street and I don't dance like I did in choreograph when we first started. But I can tell you that studying on the rule book, making sure that the rules go out, making sure that we have somebody to man our station for the JCNP is extremely important. And just knowing the rules, having the rules ratified, and being, I guess we call it.
Wait, hold on, Kenny, before you finish, congratulations to the young person, superstars.
Thank you.
I forget that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And I know you worked hard for that gal, because you get dragged plenty years before y'all get them to win.
I still get dragged. People say it's because of the fact that COVID come.
Yeah, I believe that.
Say that again, Kenny.
I say because of the vaccines winning double, the COVID came.
I believe that.
Oh Lord, you mean because your people is the JCNP chairman? Man talks to be talks.
Angelique,
talks to be talks.
Let's put it out there officially. It's no way in God's name that the wonderful Junkanoo expression could ever be associated with COVID-19.
COVID-19, nope.
Say it one more time, Teddy.
In fact, Junkanooers are on their knees days and night, praying and pushing this away. We stay at home. People who don't normally stay home. We used to be in the shack. We used to be on the road. We used to doing so many things. We are home, again, our family and friends. To stay home so we could get to one parade. We need to get to parade.
Listen,
Only one.
Conversation was the other night, right? Junkanooers don't rush 3 feet apart. We don't rush 6 feet apart.
No.
And guess what? The whistle, you're spitting 24/7. That's not survival. Don't do it.
Sweat.
And tears. So listen, I know where we rushing, but listen, we can rush on the screen. Cause we ain't going there no time soon. Kenny, what you think about
What
that?
have to happen is Saxons have to do their thing. Somebody have to record Saxons doing their thing. Spread out. Spread out. They got to spread out. They got to spread out. So we got to do a day. So we have the 25 days of Junkanoo. That's what we have to do.
Yeah, that sounds nice. That sounds
one
nice.
group per day.
You don't think that you think that we're really not gonna have a parade?
Yeah, man.
Boy, I see it happening.
I think that happening. And guess what? February, you was having a parade in any February. I think we should start with, even if we do like little something up to June next year, when we start, say, Labor Day.
Yeah.
And then lead up to 2021. This year parade, man, I didn't scratch that out of my mind.
Yeah.
Beyond the fun and jokes, guys, I really think that we need to pay attention to our membership's health, to the Junkanoo's health, first and foremost. And so we have to do everything we can to make sure that as many of us that are going to make it are going to be at an actual parade when we're all healthy, when we have all of the healthcare assistance that we need, be it vaccines or medication or whatever it is, to deal with this virus. We're not going to be able to go out there and risk the health of our Junkanoos.
Teddy, I have to give it to Roots. Dwayne was on Saturday, and I saw the little caption. I saw what you guys were doing in terms of feeding your members.
Great job.
You have done a yeoman's effort. Like everybody around here talking about how we're supposed to come together. But Fern, those have started a movement saying bigger than they, and you have to give respect where respect is due. I find it very enriching to say that, you know something, we are women, we are part of a culture, but I also have an issue with the fact that in the I jumping all over the place, but because it's just right on the top of my mind. In the past 4 years, we have had numerous awards. The last one to Government House, right? They have nominated 90% more women than they have 90% more men than they have women. And you have people like me and Fern. Me and Fern been in Junkanoo plus 40 years. You can't give me nothing but Junkanoo, okay? I'm telling you. You have people like Teddy, those who are on the front line. Women are there, and you mean to tell me you could only find 2 women to nominate to get an award? I say we're looking for nothing necessarily, right?
Yeah, but listen, our work, but
at least show some respect.
Our work speaking for itself. We don't need. Listen, without us, Junkanoo ain't going nowhere.
This is my last year, and went straight iron on y'all run.
No, I meant to Kenny be in this for life. What you talking about last year? My diamond princess got to be on Bay.
Fern, from there on, I'm going to live in Switzerland tomorrow. I'm not fooling with y'all no more.
Switzerland. I said, take you up from out the Swiss South.
Not the woman who is be all up in other people's group dancing when she hear the music and can't keep still.
Keisha's in another country. Keisha's in another country.
I'm in another country.
She'll still be here.
I'm in another country, so
I rebuke y'all.
Yeah, that's rebuke her. In the spirit of Junkanoo. In the spirit of Junkanoo.
Because when I get home, I find a Junkanoo practice. I don't care whose practice it is. The scrappers of the scrap group, I go into their Junkanoo practice, and I carry on like they on Bay Street.
That's right.
You in the drummer still?
Wild person. I don't care. When I home, I spend every day to do a Junkanoo.
Ministry of Tourism will never allow that. The islands of the Bahamas.
Welcome to the islands of the Bahamas.
Welcome to the islands of the Bahamas. Never
happen. But let me. I want to chime in, V, if I may, with Teddy. And yes, I do chime in with Teddy 100% that we have to take care of our front line, and our Junkanoo health. But we also have to be cognizant of the fact that Junkanoo is not cheap. We can't afford for persons to feel pressured to say, oh, there's a Junkanoo parade. You know how we go. We want to look good. And money right now is in jobs right now is at a critical stance right here in our country. As being the sponsorship director for Genesis for the past several years, it's not easy finding sponsors. It's not easy maintaining sponsorship. So
I just want to say Fern is an original Saxon, and I don't know how she gets in these people group, but go ahead.
Kenny,
Yeah.
press mute, Kenny.
Listen, hold on.
Press
Kenny,
mute.
Fern, hold on 1 minute. Y'all remember when we had the last Women in Junkanoo, y'all do a big row.
I win.
Who win the David Yemen set? Who win?
I win.
Kenny
I
win.
win.
Kenny win, because I still waiting to David Newman. You want to see me on bay now?
Fern, you're shouting. You're shouting. You're shouting. You're acting different.
Oh, so Kenny wins. So Kenny hand double up there.
My hand's stocky.
One hand, her whole arm in her hand, her whole elbow base, her elbow stuck up. But anyway, like I said,
that was my second reason that I stated to my group as to why I think we need to wait, because the Junkanoo is so addictive. I myself would put major things aside just to ensure that my costume is the way I want it to be. I'm not talking about persons that I may assist or other things that you do to help with the group. So you look at it and you think about the pressure that it would put on a Junkanoo, the peer pressure, the mental health stress to think that they have to be there because this is going to be the first time we get to the road after being locked down. That is too much to put on a Junkanoo.
And then Junkanoo is also not just attracting, it's attracting women, but it's also attracting younger women. It's attracting high schoolers. It's attracting college students, and they already have money. They already have, they're not working. So we do have to figure out as Junkanoos, as women in Junkanoo, how do we go about making sure that yes, the maintenance of the group is there in terms of sponsorship, in terms of the areas that are dealing mostly with women. How do we go about making sure that those girls, because me being able to invest in my costume is on me, you understand? But someone else that's in high school, me being able to assist one or two of them is different from the other five that don't get assistance. You understand? And like you said, Teddy, everyone is into how they want the costume to look. Even as and just me leading a choreograph section, it wasn't even about how the costume looks, it's about how the whole section looks. It's about the entire look. So if my theme is Disney World and we're supposed to be Minnie Mouse, everybody got to look like Minnie Mouse. You can't come out there looking like Pop Down Minnie. No, I ain't having that. You can't come out there looking like, Minnie from back in the day. No, this is the Minnie we're dealing with now. This is what we're looking at. So it's all about how you want the entire section to look. So how are we assisting those young ladies that don't have the funds? How are we assisting some of them that do have the funds, but they got a family to support? How are we assisting them?
Absolutely. And with that being said, that's why when we look at canceling the parade in December, it's so many different elements we have to really take into consideration. And not moreover, we do this for ourselves, yes, we do it for the love, but we also have to remember that we attract thousands of people to be clustered in one area. And is that really going to be healthy? So this is difficult. I don't know, look like it could be the first time in a long time I got eat Christmas dinner at home.
I'm not prepared for that.
I don't know how I'm gonna function. Can we go cook? I don't know.
No, it's not that, It's not that, it's the mere fact, like Fern said, you don't know what it is to eat a Christmas dinner, because from the time that my daddy used to go through Mason's Edition in the back of Willa Francis house, and him and Kool-Aid used to do the cardboard hats. From then to now, I could always remember daddy taking the ham to the shack, or like, I just don't see it. Even now as an adult, when it's time for Christmas dinner, mommy will say, Kenra, you coming to eat? Yeah, I come in, mommy. By the time as I reach, only thing left for me, because my daddy didn't keep it for me, is the turkey neck, because I like the turkey neck, and I like it to seep in the juice, right? So that's all I get. because I have to go to the shack. I say we got to make sure that the guys there to get the trailers packed. We have to make sure the outriders there. You got to pay the outriders. You have to pay the wrecker.
Yeah.
And certain people told me Austin ain't put no money in their hand.
Yeah.
You understand me? Certain things have to be done. And when he called, I say, yeah, I can now. So certain things have to be done. And I don't know what it is to say, okay, I can have me a regular Christmas. Because if we don't know Christmas, Junkanoo, I might as well tell you, I don't know if I could be in Nassau.
I don't know. This would be my it's a nightmare.
If the borders are still closed, you're going to still be in Nassau.
That's what I'm saying. The borders are closed. I think you will be here.
If the borders open, I'll go to Canada. I'll go someplace else for Christmas because this ain't no Christmas. I mean, people have to have something to look forward to.
As a Junkanoo who's going to be in pain, ladies, I'm probably going to have some parades on from like the day before. Yes. It should have been happening. I'm probably going to be just binging out on some like food and can't move from the television and wearing my Junkanoo shirt and maybe have on a piece of costume or something too. Shake or something. If I have to be confined, I'm going to be confined. But I will say there's always a silver lining to the cloud. My family will not have the temerity or the need to break me and to throw those words at me because they had to try to make sure that I ate. They had to help finish decorate. They had to do everything else that needed to be done because I was at the shack.
But could I say too, I agree with you, but could I say, even you mentioned the financial portion of it, Teddy, even if we don't have the accoutrement to do all of the extravagant things that we would have done on a regular basis, we have so many natural resources. Everybody is supposed to be on the bigger than Bay theme line, right? Yes, we are very tribal and it's very ritual. But if we only have newspaper, everybody come to Bay Street and newspaper. I'm sure we have some chat and some prism someplace later on that all of us could use or that we could share with somebody else. If we really talking about the spirit and the essence of Junkanoo, when you get through George Street and you smell the stench, because that ain't no regular stench.
That stench is. You're in. The next word.
Watch it now. That's the holy grail because that's where everybody lies down.
That's where everybody lies down, and that's where you have the best music. You know, they call us in the whole
the vaccine may be through there. Y'all need to go through there.
The vaccine is there, right on the ground, right in front of the law firm.
Right there in the grave. Yes.
Right there. Mm-hmm.
Right there.
But I could honestly say, like, there's nothing in the world like Junkanoo. I don't care how you put it up. I don't care how you fix your mouth. When you hear them saxons roll over, it's Jesus have mercy, God. I'm ready for this tonight.
But I to be honest with you, Kenny,
we can let us celebrate. We know it's been a while, so we'll let us celebrate. Let's not. That's
been your head plenty.
Bear in mind that they did not even have a victory parade.
Different factions now, and I applaud you all for bringing Jerry back to the front of the choreograph section. Because trust me, that's mainline trim, the cabaret theater. That's what I call it.
Hello. Respect us.
Cabaret. Hey,
congratulations again,
Congratulations, darling.
Festival and Saxons take over and bring some festival choreograph section.
Okay. Call the police.
Yeah, they were slamming. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. They was crazy that year.
I will be honest with you, ladies. Even though we're discussing the postponement of the parade, if there were to be some miracle advancement that was to allow the congregating of persons,
right,
one and all, let's go.
Let's go.
Who are rushing it? Who exactly in their group? Y'all can take me?
Any day. Let's go. What?
As a level-headed Junkanoo,
listen,
when the health allows for it.
You'll be okay, honey. Go get some bush and then mix that with some more bush. You'll be good to go.
Panarin.
Yes, ma'am.
If they call it 3 o'clock in the morning,
ready.
All I need is my Echo gel and I on my way.
Listen, ready. I say ready. My whistle could be there. I have to put a mask over my whistle. We got to go.
Fern, we taking the turn? Who's keeping the turn?
No. If you have to wear a mask, you can't take the children.
The child is going on my back. We gone, boo.
We can't go if we have to wear a mask because we ain't gonna get a mask.
Listen, see, I really done see you didn't get
by the time you finish with that mask and you don't decorate that mask, you don't trick that mask out with some feathers on this side.
And you can wear it on your head like a headband.
You have to put your whistle in your mouth and get you one mask. And then put that on what to go.
To come out that whistle with the mask on.
Enough sound to come out of it.
That call it not gonna be finished. Everybody be mixer.
Shaman. Yes, the whistles that have enough sound to keep you on point.
Think about it even logistically though. I mean, from a music point of view, if you have to be 3 feet, 6 feet apart, I don't know.
Teddy, you're telling me we can put the music in the banner and we can dance to that then.
We'll do that. But isn't this a huge adjustment for you, even when you see people, right? Like, because everyone is wearing a mask now. And I think that we're so touchy-feely, like, I feel like sometimes you go to want to touch someone, like, hey, but you have to withdraw.
Yeah.
No, sometimes it's actual physically happening. It's physically happening.
Because I'm very concerned right now.
I have a question.
Why Fern on birds? Where Fern go in?
Well, you know, Kenny, we as She-Hawk Pearls, we represent post-COVID and in COVID and after COVID. You just have to be ready. You're saying when the whistles blow, you have to be ready.
The last month table, right?
Ladies, this is a question that I want to put forward. Where do we think the various groups are going now in terms of costuming and practice? Where you think, if we were to have, like you say, if we're going to have this parade, if we're going to have this in February, do you think it's going to be a full costume parade?
No, I think we should just get creative, like what Kendanique said. I think we should just get creative with what we have. Like, I don't feel as though we should ask any of our members to come out of nothing they probably don't have to find stuff to make these costumes. I feel we should go back. It will be really interesting. It will be fun. Let's go back to basics. Let's go back to basics. Let's try to
like how we have the regular People's Rush. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
But then I think what she's saying back to basics is let's show a united front in Junkanoo. So we're back to old Junkanoo, then let's take it back to old Junkanoo. Let's take it back there. Costuming wise, let's take it back there, bigger than Bay.
Yeah.
Use that theme. Let that go through.
Y'all can borrow that. Y'all can borrow that.
Fanarin, stop being mean.
Time to share Fanarin.
From a concern point of view, ladies, I actually think that this is a great opportunity to deepen relations with membership. And so I actually feel as if even if we were to be given the opportunity to congregate and do a parade, I don't think we should ask anything of the membership except to come.
Yeah.
Because you want everyone to participate.
Yeah.
You want everyone to feel the joy of release. You want everyone to feel that stress relief. You want everyone to be able to express themselves without being hampered by anything. Simply just get on the road together and express yourself and let it out. And so I don't think we should ask anything of them except to come.
Yeah.
Okay, what about section off in groups? Should it be like how we do the Independence Parade and the Labor Day Parade, like each group just come down by themselves, or should we do a collective thing?
Separate the groups.
Yes.
Separate the groups, because if I want to sell, if I'm a colors and I want to celebrate with colors, then let me be able to see my group in their section, and let the Warhawks be able to see the Warhawks. Let the Saxons be able to see the Saxons. Let the Valleys see the Valleys. See everybody. Let's see them. Put your banner up there. Let's see you. Let's see you. Let's see you. Let's see your unification. Let's see your bill.
It would be a sharing, and it would be an opportunity to show your unity as an organization.
Yeah.
Okay, so should this call be made for these parades by the JCNP or the NJC? I mean, in regards to if we're gonna come together and just have a regular parade, because you know the ministry saying February.
Well, my thing is, if they expect us as Junkanoo groups to come together, and they expect us to come together, I could say the same for both of those leading
What about a
entities.
Junkanoo commission? You think we
Yes,
should
let
create a
them come
Junkanoo
together.
commission?
Let them themselves, the two bodies, come together, and everybody agree on what they want for us. You can't expect us to be united. You can't expect us to be together if our leaders and the heads that govern the Junkanoo world is not. Sometimes it's time to put aside leadership. That word gets people crazy. And let's come together. Let's see what we want done, and let's have a good time. The first time we're gonna be meeting for the first time after all of this crazy. We don't need extra crazy.
Well, so far I had invited Natasha from the JCNP part of the music makers, but she had prior commitments because I wanted to really ask some questions. I think our next live is going to be basically I'm going to try to talk to some of the heads of the Junkanoo groups and see which direction the different Junkanoo groups are going in and what their intentions are. If we're going to be coming out in February, because February is Valentine. Even if we say they lift the ban, we in May now. Do you think like between now and December, or September I should say, not December, that if everything we back to order, we go back piece by piece, like how the Prime Minister said we'll be opening up. How do we move forward from there?
Well, I'm here in St. Lucia, and which is they are 100% in recovery mode from COVID-19, but we're still in the state of emergency until the 30th of May. And bit by bit here, the Prime Minister is truly trying to open up the country economically and just see how different things are working and all that. The thing with the difference is governing a smaller body of people versus governing over 400,000 people is a lot different. We have to make sure that the whole thing we have to really consider is that the safety of the Junkanooers, us as Junkanooers, the safety of the Bahamian public, because Junkanoo it speaks us. Doesn't matter who it is, everybody come in. They come in.
Yeah.
It speaks us. We have to make sure it's the safety of those who may be in the country just to see it, you know? So we just have to make sure that even though if by September we are on that upward trend of reopening, getting things involved and getting things back to some sense of normalcy, because I don't care, everybody can have their overview of this, but this pandemic is literally going to restructure a lot of our lives and what we were doing versus what we will be doing now. So we have to make sure that all of those things are in place and also looked at to make sure that what we want to happen and what we suggest that can happen happens at its most safe end.
Well, I'd like to say congratulations to Kenny on the piece that you had in the Tribune.
Yes.
Life
Yes. That's my smart friend.
Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate you.
You know, she's a Delta, but that's all right. They smart too. The Delta smart too.
Can do better.
Our schedule as women in Junkanoo from day to day has dramatically changed. What are we doing now to improve ourselves so when we come out of this lockdown, are we going to go back to being the same way we are or doing the same things or looking for a different way forward? What are we going to do?
Absolutely not. I feel as though this is the time to really pull back and focus on important elements. Yes, we do love Junkanoo, but at the end of the day, we have to also first focus on ourselves, build on ourselves first so that we can take what we've learned in this time down, and then it's going to expand into every aspect of our lives, because the reality is things are not looking like it's going to get any easier. So we have to plan for tomorrow. And we are depending on our leaders, our Junkanoo leaders, the JCNP of the world, to also be doing the same thing. Like, let's make good of the time that God has allowed us to be still and to be withdrawn so that we can focus on the number one elements. I want us women to, yes, love on Junkanoo, but first focus on us first. Try to figure out where we going in our lives, try to figure out where our family is going in their lives, and then that will automatically manifest into every other element.
I think what Fern, I want to piggyback off what Fern said. I think that in some instances, there's so much malice and miscontent for women as a whole in terms of Junkanoo, because we pit ourselves against each other. Like if Fern and I have been friends our entire lives, so we don't know anything different. I've known Keisha through association. I've known Teddy through association, but we are still cool and we respect each other. But you have some women in Junkanoo that you just seem to know by assimilation, and they hate you for no reason. They've never even had a conversation with you, but they hate you off of what somebody else has said. And as women that are supposed to be empowering other women, I think we need to get past that, because NASA is only 7 by 21, and we have to be able to live with each other. You never, like, the world is too small. Life is a cycle. You don't know who it is that you're going to need, or who your children are going to come in contact with, and all of the miscontent is totally, it's garbage, because it makes no sense.
Yeah,
it's total foolishness.
Yes, and to just reiterate,
Kenny, let me piggyback off of that. See, the thing about it is, we have to understand each one of us may be different in our own personalities and have different ways that we do things, but in the end, all of us as women are supposed to hold up and support one another. Every one of us have a different role to play in Junkanoo.
Yeah.
Kenny,
well, I met Fern on base.
You have your role. Fern have a role.
Yeah.
Lakeisha, everybody have a, but I can't outshine you and you can't outshine me, because without any one of us, we are chained and we link together. Okay, like you say, when it's time to go to Bay Street, I'm your friend. But that's only 2 days, the 25th and the 26th and the 1st. Them other days, we have to hold and support each other no matter what happens.
That's
right.
right.
I always say, my friends can tell me the truth. I could get mad for that second, but hey, brush that off my shoulder and I gone.
I also think too, ladies, that when we look, I'm not a person who I've been invited before, but I have actually never taken the opportunity to really become involved in the full-on operation of the parade setup and the management of our cultural parades and the festivity that it is, to see to the extent that we could put to the extent that we contribute to the operation and function of it, to the extent that we could contribute to the marketing and the packaging of it, to where we could turn it into something that may possibly become, although not maybe having a parade this year, in the future, something that could be economically viable and assist with what's going on in the Bahamas, because we're at a junction now where we have to look at where COVID-19 is going to take us economically.
Yeah.
And in the past, we used to look at Junkanoo as something where we're only seeking funds to, as individual entities, get ourselves to bay and compete. But we need to start taking an overall look at it and see if it's a viable entity, if it's a product that can be marketed, that can bring revenue to the country, that we can do something with. I think that women need to be a part of this conversation, because men have been for a number of years and we're not really progressing with this.
No.
Teddy, it really is. It is a cultural expression that is truly marketable. And I'm sitting here, and like I say, this is one of the third largest carnivals in the Caribbean right here that happens in St. Lucia in July. And it's already canceled for 2021. But I got an opportunity to move around to all the different camps to their launch parties, you know, and just to see how they launch how they handle that end of it, and how they launch their things. It was interesting culturally to see it. It was interesting culturally to stand there and look at the costume and say, ooh, that ain't finished. Alabama. But like this need Junkanoo, this need Aman design that look bad. It was interesting to look at things from that end and say, oh no, they can't be selling that for $1,000 US. They can't be selling that for that price,
Wow.
But I find that, and this is years of being in Junkanoo and literally sitting in my grandmother's backyard, watching my uncles in most qualified shack do a lot of things and build things and being in there and learning how to cut paper and learning how to paste and all this other stuff. And you're up all night with them. And when it's time to go to Bay Street, you couldn't go to Bay Street because at that time when I was small, little children weren't allowed on Bay Street. So you could go in the day. So they come for you 6 o'clock in the morning, they wake you up, you put on your costume, and you catch that last part of the parade, So that's where my Junkanoo end comes from. My Uncle John, oh gosh, he was amazing. He had a wonderful time with that group and had a wonderful time. Khan was a part of that group also. Mm-hmm. But these are the people that even them, they saw Junkanoo differently because they started the Washington trips for tourism. They started taking groups, and they didn't just take people from most qualified. They picked some of the best from the Saxons. They picked some of the best from the Valley Boys. They picked some of the best from all these different groups and took them on trips for the Ministry of Tourism. And all of these are, we have Kendra right here, we have Kendanique right here. So all of these are marketing tools. It's just how...
Keisha, just let me tell you one thing, girl. Let me tell you something, okay? I do... What if I tell you I leave the Ministry of Tourism? Would you believe me?
No.
Yes.
Yes, I heard something,
yes.
but I wasn't sure.
I would.
Next question.
I would.
You to,
I believe you.
Communication company.
I believe you.
So you guys.
I believe you.
Yeah, I waiting for you to put it out there.
I believe you. I believe you. But
can you introduce yourself from your new company now, or should we wait?
I want you to wait, but I want you to understand something on mere principle. I find that women in this industry are very interesting, and the very people you think that you would want to emulate, and you say that you have set your aspirations bigger than just a general manager in a company, and they then in turn say you over your dead body. It's time for you to flip and leave.
Yeah, but I thought you just get a promotion.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
But I think you had too much power. See, when people see that you are forceful and bold and have a lot of insight, and see a lot of old people don't want to press the button. That's the problem. The button is the problem.
Could I take this opportunity to congratulate you on your move toward developing yourself?
Thank you. Right. I'm just so you know, I am now in my second master's program. I will graduate in July. This master's program, the university for FIU has asked me to publish my journal, and I would be the first in my family to have a published journal on marketing tourism. Do you know what that is? My mom come out of Milton Street. My pa from Rock Corner.
That doesn't matter where you're from, What it matters is where you end up.
Okay.
That is huge.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you
go.
That
is amazing.
You go, girl.
But I did that. I just want to say that there's this lady named Josette. I am still in the process of paying for the remainder of my matriculation, but I called Joe one day and I said, Joe, I need to pay my school fee. I need to get the rest of my scholarship money. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, Mother said how I can get this money. And they called the last minute. I say, Joe, I got to get this money. And I had sent scholarship information all over the place. Joe said, Demerit said, Ken, we can give you a portion of the scholarship money. She called me back within 15 minutes. She said, Ken, come now for this money. And I was able to do the University of the West Indies and FIU. It isn't, and when I say this to you, some of the women that I would have reached out to that sit in positions that could have helped me, they didn't help.
Wow.
But I call this one woman, Josette Demerit, and Joe, listen to me. But I tell you, she helped me. She helped me. And I have to play it forward. I have to help somebody else.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. That is a major part of Junkanooing.
That's a
Mentoring
major
and
part.
being support.
Because Teddy, I don't know who hand and I go fall in. Life may not carry with me the C3 content, but if I do good, it'll come back to my child.
That's right. That's right. That's
You
right.
understand me? But I want to get mixed up now. If you put my head, but I will still ride. Thank you.
Right. Teddy, you hear that saying, live to live again?
You understand what I'm saying,
Living now for your child to live.
Listen.
Ladies, over the years we've been in Junkanoo and we've sought promotion within our Junkanoo groups. But for each of you, as the little that I know of you, I know you to be persons who seek to develop yourselves inside and outside of Junkanoo. I commend Kendrick on the accomplishment of both of her masters for stepping out there and being bold enough to challenge herself and to take on new opportunities. Yeah. I myself still work in the same field that I've been in for a number of years, but I've grown and developed. I'm a certified international risk manager for Europe and this region. Working on other things as I progress, along with being a senior operations manager for hospitality and casino operations. You have to work to develop yourself. You have to work to develop others.
Absolutely.
You have to grow females. That's how we build ourselves.
The next thing I can do is I can grow me a ponytail. You all know fool with me.
Listen, you need some super growth for that.
And you know what, guys, this we are all trending. We are all in the same spirit because that's what I spoke about. And I didn't even know Kendrick was. Listen,
I didn't really know myself. And when I said, when I spoke to say Islands of the Bahamas, I said, but hold on, I haven't heard Kenny said that in a while.
In a while, yes, and she says it so well.
And the thing is, where we've really been locked down, we don't really know. And she kept telling me she's in school, she's in school, she's in school. Mm-hmm. Like, okay.
And let me tell you, you know that saying, birds of a feather flocks together? Mm-hmm. Kendrick and I was like this, and still like this. And the same thing she was doing, I am also doing. And Theodore, I just got my risk management certification 2 days ago.
Awesome. Congratulations, then.
Listen, I don't want nobody to when you hear them talking in their little conclaves and they say, "You Junkanoo people," I be the first one. Who you mean?
Calling it Junkanoo people.
What I mean? Oh, yes, we are colorful people, darling.
But fun, you know.
Put us on the stage with a mic.
My mother said little Ross Cornerish. So
listen, they say you take the man out of the island, but you can't take the island out of the man.
Absolutely.
Junkanoo people.
Absolutely.
I think that's where, you know, where Charmaine, where shows like what you're doing, promoting women and making sure that you get women. I said that not even get, but promoting women, finding out what they're doing, promoting women in Junkanoo, letting people see them. Listen, it's not just you just don't see them on Bay Street. You just don't see Kendrick announcing what the Saxons doing and doing the Sax, promoting the Saxons. You just don't see Fern promoting the She-Hawks. You don't see Teddy speaking for Roots. These are women, all of us, you, myself, all of us, we're in different industries. You know, same thing. I walked away from Ministry of Culture. I came into the hospitality industry, very different industry, but still doing the same thing, doing cultural expressions within the industry. But it's every one of us we have something else to offer. We don't just have, I think that's my phone. We don't just have Junkanoo. We have so many other things to offer, you know. You see the people like Linda Stubbs. I mean, Linda Stubbs could decorate. She could make a tree come to life with just decorations. You understand? And these are women that are in Junkanoo. You know, these are women that are on Bay Street. You know, we have some of the legal minds that are out there, that are there. You know, they're on Bay Street, but they are, when they leave Bay Street, they are professional women.
That's
you
right.
Understand? So they are not Junkanoo people. They're not you Junkanoo people. You understand me? They are Junkanooers. Yes.
Right.
That's what they are. They are Junkanooers. They
the artistry of Junkanoo The artistry of Junkanoo drew me to Junkanoo. But the professionalism, the mentoring, the building of community is what has kept me there over all these years.
That's right.
Well, one of the things I'd like to say is the reason why I started my Unsung Heroes series, to show the different areas and different professionalism and different people
Which is really
that
good.
take all of us
Congratulations
as
on that.
one
Very good.
to make, you see that production happen on Bay Street. I entered a lot of the shacks during downtime. I see people on the street when I'm moving around, and you know, the question is, their question is, oh, always, you know, only certain people are seen at the forefront of Junkanoo, but it's not those persons who are really making it happen that we see will take place out there.
Because every group has that person that does not come on Bay Street. Every group has those group of people that don't come on Bay Street because their job, they're not that job, what they choose to do is be there, building the costumes, cutting out the cardboard. They're the persons that bend in the wires. They're doing all this other stuff. They're teaching you how to they're teaching you how to get from paper to cardboard.
And not only
Street.
that, Keisha, what we are learning in the Junkanoo world from some of these unsung heroes, they don't have any other family. The Junkanoo persons are the only persons they know.
We are it.
Cling to that.
Yeah.
And so right now, we don't know, we are mentoring other persons that are coming behind us.
Yes.
To move forward. We are passing the baton on to the younger girls that they're looking up to persons like us.
Yes.
Even the younger guys in the group. We keep them from violence. We keep them occupied, their minds.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
You know, to keep them focused on life and what it is to succeed in life. And they you know, a group of them surround one another at all times. Some of them just go to meetings just for family life. So it's very important that we keep our culture moving forward, keep it in a family setting. And I always say, congratulations to Genesis and One Family Expression for making it like an organization for all the community outreach, and big up to Colors also and Roots for really paving a way to make ourselves feel more notable in the communities than, like we say, not just Bay, not Bay.
Bigger.
Bigger.
Absolutely. That's right.
Bigger.
Yeah.
But ladies, I'd like to thank you so much for this conversation tonight. I know Angelique and Kishleen was stuck. They had some problems with their phones and all that technical difficulties. So as we end tonight, is there anything that you would like to say, about COVID-19 and Junkanoo and what to expect? 3 minutes from each one of you.
Go ahead, Fern. It's start with you.
Well, just like the relentless Junkanoo spirit, that's what we have to come together and remember in the Bahamas. We are relentless. We have God by our side, so we can smile at the storm. You be safe. You keep God in the center, at the center of your storm. You can smile at it.
Eddie?
I would say that bearing in mind the crisis that we're going through now and the stringent guidelines that govern the way that we are living at the moment, that of course we want to make sure that Junkanoo can be something that we all participate in again, but only when it's safe. But we also want to look at possibly utilizing this time as a way to ensure that Junkanoo does not lose its soul. A lot of persons over the years have spoken about the introduction of Carnival to the Bahamas and how it might have brought some impacts to Junkanoo that persons as Junkanoo lovers may feel have taken a little away from the actual unique craft of Junkanoo. We know that Junkanoo is at its basis origin crepe paper. And so if in the instance now, we can look at Junkanoo being just about crepe paper and artistry, and that could help to lower costs and ensure that more persons can participate. Maybe that's a way to look at it to move forward.
Sure.
Well, on the edge of this pandemic right now, as a Junkanooer and as Junkanoo way forward, Like Fern said, we are Junkanoo. We are relentless. It doesn't matter if the parade happens in the rain. It doesn't matter if the parade happens in the sunshine. We are there. Let's keep pushing forward. Let's keep making sure that, like I said before, we make sure that once we are back on Bay Street, we make sure that what we have in place is safe, not just for our Junkanooers, but for those people that come to spectate, to enjoy the groups, to enjoy our culture, to enjoy our music, to enjoy that vibe. So we need to make sure that everything is in place, that we're safe. Let's continue to be safe, Bahamas. Let's continue to get these numbers down so that we can go back to our lives, not necessarily our normal lives, but our new way of living with this newfound virus here. And let's just keep pushing, Bahamas.
Kennedy?
I think that for us in Junkanoo, that we need to keep the Junkanoo spirit alive. Everybody needs to stay safe. There will come a time when we will have that glad reunion day. And of course, the culture of Junkanoo, we need to take to a completely different level. There are levels to this shit. There are levels to this. And we need to amalgamate to those levels. We need to incorporate everyone. We need to take Junkanoo out of just the streets of Bay Street, and we need to go to Mars. There's no greater show on the face of the planet. And I love my Junkanoo people. I love my Junkanoo. I love to. I like when the drum roll over and the bang 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 bang. I like it. I like it. I love it. I just love it. I love it. And I want everybody to be in good health. And I want y'all to just love on each other, man. I mean, no man knows the day, the time, or the hour. And it's important for us to respect and love each other.
Well,
Let's
ladies,
just
I
dance to the
send my
Junkanoo,
love
man.
to all of you guys, and we want to send condolences again to Trolley. I think he was buried Saturday past. I'm not sure when Charlene is going to be buried. I don't know if she's buried yet. And see, it's very important that we stay safe to be able to show support to one another. If any of us is to leave this place, because what's happening now, only 10 persons is allowed at the funerals, and so we're not even able to celebrate as Junkanoo in that normal way that we normally do when somebody passes. For the past several weeks that we have been on lockdown, I've been keeping the Junkanoo pages flowing with previous parades and running little trivias and, a lot of the different things, the spirit up. And so, I will continue to do my part, just to keep Junkanoo alive and keep it moving. So again, I thank you, and I encourage each and every Junkanoo to be safe, adhere to what the Prime Minister is saying, wear your mask, wash your hands constantly, no dominoes playing, social distance 3 to 6 feet, or end up 6 feet.
And Charmaine, just so you know, ain't nothing wrong with Kishnane and Angelique phone, because they've been on Facebook all day, and you tell them I say that.
But you can tell them now, they can hear that.
Okay, well,
let them know we missed them, but it's been wonderful chatting with you ladies again.
Angelique is in Cat Island, and so her connection is very Kishley tell me she's on the store, so I don't know what.
Okay.
I would like to see any cook.
Love on one another, support each other, no matter what the outcome may be. So we shall meet again and be able to rush, blow the whistle, call an answer, and celebrate this thing we call Junkanoo.
Fern is going to design a mask with a whistle incorporated in it.
Watch.
I'm waiting. Fern, I am waiting.
Junkanoo is love. Roots in the morning.
Be safe and
you know that, right?
Yes.
Ladies, we can, Charmaine, before we go, I would just like to say, we often take time and health for granted. It's been 5 years. So you can imagine, see y'all in 5 years again, same place, same time, good health, and even more prosperous, ladies.
Yes.
Love y'all.
Amen.
But I received that.
Kenny, congratulations again on everything you're doing. All of you ladies, congratulations on everything that you all are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you for keeping me home and feeling like I'm home every day. I sit down there, Junkanoo Heroes, I press play, I turn on my little speaker, and I clean up to everything. The Junkanoo break, I swear, I had my own rush out in here with the Junkanoo break.
When I get up in the morning and the Junkanoo Junkanooers are getting excited now. So when I start a mask challenge, everybody doing the mask. When I start the drop, everybody drop. Now we have who is this Junkanoo? Everybody send me a million.
Yeah. Yeah, the drum and cowbell thing was nice too.
Yeah, I got 10,000 photos, and so I try to keep the trivia and stuff going, and find old pictures. So I really doing a lot of research, and it only takes me a couple minutes to do it. But if you love something, it doesn't matter. The time is of no essence.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, ladies.
Helping a lot with the quarantine as well. Be safe.
Yes,
it has. Be safe, ladies.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Ming, you still there? Ming.